Level 4 education and training students. We now move on to Unit 5. Now, the Unit 5 assignment has less criteria attached to it, you'll notice. The reason being is that we have, as you can see from this criteria map, which Lindsay and I used to plan the course, been able to map different criteria, the 1.2 criteria, 2.1 and the 2.2 to observations and minimum core as well. So only these criteria here will be covered by this assignment because it will be covered holistically by what we've observed in your practice in the classroom and through the minimum core as well. So let's have a little look at what you're going to be doing. And we're going to be working with you, by the way, as you can see here, between 14th of March, when I've launched the assignment, just as a teaser, so you can have a sneak peek of it. And then officially we'll start our lessons from next week, and then we're going to have plenty of time, a few weeks, to meet the deadline of the 24th of April. So let's have a look at what we need to do then. As always, in Google Classroom, you will find all the resources posted, and under the classwork tab, you'll be able to see in the assessment hand-in space the assignment itself. But we will, like we have done before, make tabs that are relevant for each unit. So there'll be a Unit 5 one here, which I'll make right now so you can see it, for you to find all resources that help you in relation to Unit 5. And I'll put that at the very top here. But as always, you need to go to the assessment hand-in space to hand in all your work. All your assessments are in this space here. This will cover Unit 5 and all the other assignments, including the minimum core and the teaching log, are in this space. But this video is all about focusing on Unit 5. Let's have a look. I posted it today, a week before I have my first lesson with you, just so you get extra time to look at it. No actions expected, just to give you extra time is the intention there. And first lesson will start from next week, and you're going to have from essentially now, 14th of March through to the 24th of April, time to work on this. This one is all about resources in your delivery for facilitating and enhancing inclusive teaching and learning. Now, task 1 asks you to do the following: to look at 10 of your resources. Not only to look at them, but to analyse them, to pull them apart and look at them from different perspectives. And those different perspectives are going to be in terms of differentiation. Are they adaptive? Do they meet different needs of your more able and your perhaps less able? People who learn differently, people from different backgrounds in terms of ability and in terms of nationality and English-speaking capabilities. Are they adaptive, or are they just something that you've perhaps assumed would resonate with all learners? Time to take one of your resources and reflect. And do it for 9 more. 10 resources we're looking for you to reflect on here. For each of them, I want you to think about differentiation, which we now refer to as really adaptive learning. How engaging are they? What evidence have you got for this? Any stories, anecdotes, or data? How motivating are they? Are there any theorists or thinkers or scholars that you can draw upon to justify the engagement and the retention of video or games in the classroom, for example? How about the use of minimum core to develop skills? Do your resources do this? Do they develop communication skills, any other English skills, or perhaps numeracy or digital competencies? Do your resources meet learner needs? And think about your group profile here. Think about your group profile in terms of particular needs. Anonymize your learners. GDPR always needs to be at the forefront of our mind here in terms of data protection. But give me a story, an anecdote about how your resources meet the needs of learners. Either literally or hypothetically or proactively in case you were to work with a learner who perhaps had a hearing need, for example. Do your resources promote equality and diversity? We'll be talking about equality and diversity quite a lot in the lessons, as I know Lindsay has been doing already. It's important we're mindful and deliberate about the way we think about these terms, equality and diversity. You're going to be capturing, as I've mentioned, a video or a presentation. So the video can be a screencast, much like I'm capturing for you right now, or it could be a presentation in the class, where we capture a presentation of you delivering information to the class. We need to see evidence of your 10 resources that you use in your session. As it states here, you will need to include examples of your 10 resources. These aren't hypotheticals, these are actual examples we want to see. You have time in lessons to create resources if you haven't got 10 at this point. I bet you have. I want a bibliography as well. I want in-text citations referencing different approaches to thinking about the use of resources to enhance teaching, learning, and assessments. As always, there's a task 2, where you're going to take learner survey results and feedback from one observation, and then from that, reflect on how effective your resources are or are not. It's good to have that reflection, to really think deeply about it. You might come to the end of this and think, actually, I need to iterate and adapt my resources. That'd be wonderful if that happens, because it shows you're learning. Equally, you might have just a few things you want to tweak or think about, or a new idea you're going to implement moving forward. Reflect and create a smart action plan as a result of this reflection, after identifying 3 areas for improvement, again, from feedback from your learners and one observation. You're going to be submitting the video or presentation. I would also like a transcript of the video. So hitting the transcript button if you're recording a video, or if you're doing a presentation in class, I will capture a transcript for you. I want a bibliography as well. And also a written report, which could be slides if you prefer. I know many of you quite like using Canva for your task 2 reflections, as it were. So I'm happy for that. Please present your work in a professional academic style. Use references, in-text citations. Link your research coherently to your examples. Harvard referencing, please. I want to see referencing in this assignment. And as always, draw on your own experiences, something you're really good at doing at this point. So this will only cover, as you can see, 4 criteria, but look at the Bloom's taxonomy verbs we got. Analyze, adapt, review, and more of a basic one here in terms of identify, but once you've identified areas for improvement, I'm then looking for you to think about how you might review and adapt your resources. But analysis and analysing is the main thing I'm looking for here. Don't describe, analyse, take it apart, think about it from different perspectives. Your 10 resources, think about them from these different perspectives. If you do, you are analysing, because you're breaking it apart and thinking about it from different views. Okay? That's beyond description. I'll put your feedback here, like I always do. I'll sign it and date it here as well, within that 10 working day turnaround, okay? Right, quite a long video this, but I want to make sure I go in detail for you. All resources will be in Google Classroom. You'll find them under the Unit 5 tab, which I'll start populating now, okay? There we go, Unit 5 and Assessment Hand-in Space. Unit 5 assignment will be here, but you'll notice when it comes to deadline day, it will pop up here, the actual hand-in space and the prompts to hand in your work. And that deadline again, let's just get it back on the screen, is the 24th of April. I have loads of time in class, loads of time to experiment. It'll be fun. Looking forward to this one. I'll see you in class next week, which is the 20th of March. We're going to have a month to create, explore, experiment, and then produce evidence for some of the criteria for Unit 5. As I mentioned, not all of the criteria for Unit 5, because we know that some of the criteria is going to be covered by us doing observations. In fact, most of you probably got these criteria already, and minimum core as well, which we'll work on probably from next month onwards, ensuring you've got your minimum core covered in that minimum core document that Lindsay gave you at the start of the year. There we go, there's Unit 5. It's quite a small one, but it's no less meaningful. I look forward to working with you in class. I'll see you next week.